Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are watching Iron Racing GT3, and we are now in the qualifying session for today's race. We are in Greece, the Thessaloniki International Circuit, and this is going to be exciting indeed. Unfortunately, I'll be the only commentator for today, but that will not stop us from bringing in some good action on the track. So, exactly 10 minutes and 9 seconds in qualifying, and Seva is in P1. He is maintaining that lead over the past several rounds. Man, that is really an absolute masterclass by Seva right there. As he crosses the line, gets one purple sector in Sector 2, and that is going to be 1 minute and 32 seconds. Man, he's the only driver so far to be in the 132s for the session, and that is really impressive. So today we are going to be seeing much more of these drivers battle it out later on. And actually, there is someone that respawned right there on one of the Uprise Motorsports. Wasn't able to catch who that was, but it could either be Me or AG Capadonna. No idea who. But oh, apparently it's AG Capadonna. So yeah, all right. 9 minutes and 14 seconds in qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be really cool to see as we wait for more of the drivers as they finish their laps. Oh, it seems like Buraka has just entered the 132s. That is a 1 minute 32 seconds .209. That's 2 green sectors and 1 purple sector by Buraka in the Crake Racing outfit. If you haven't known, Buraka has gotten a podium a few rounds back, and that only shows the tenacity and the masterclass of this driver. I believe that was in Australia a couple of weeks ago, where Buraka was able to get the first podium for Crake Racing after the rebranding from previous seasons. So that's really great for Buraka right there. Still, that is 2/10 behind of Seva, who just got a purple sector for Sector 3. That's pretty much intense. So we have 12 people watching now, so hello to everybody watching the stream. If you are new to the channel, please do subscribe and join Iron Racing today. And apparently, we only have 4 likes. Oh no, there are 16 people watching now, so we would appreciate it if you could leave a like. So we're now on board Seva. As you can see here, KR Racing has gotten a one-off livery to commemorate the F1C Team UDC Racing. That's a tribute that the KR Racing has done for this season. So that is going to be a pretty awesome livery right there. As you can see the purple shades on the hood of that car. It's pretty sick. Okay, people, so 7 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in qualifying, and apparently there are only 2 drivers in the 132s, and that's going to be Seva and Buraka respectively. These 2 drivers might have an amazing battle on track later this afternoon, or evening, depending on where you guys are tonight. So that will be great. Can't wait to see the battle of these 2 drivers. But meanwhile, we can see Vi Plummy in the Brand Star Racing in P3. Now that is pretty good. That's only 600s ahead of Mommy in the Uprise Motorsports. So last time, the driver in Mommy's seat was Alex Sinho, who has now shifted to Meme Racing, and Mommy has been transferred to Uprise Motorsports. If I'm not mistaken, Uprise and Meme Racing are actually allies, so possibly sister teams. So switches could be inevitable. Another thing for you to notice is Big Boy, part of Hoshi Shiragane, is now in P5. Now that is 1 minute and 33 seconds rather by the driver. Pretty good masterclass right there. And also, if you haven't known, ladies and gentlemen, there's already a rebrand. You will no longer see Valor GT3 on track. Instead, you will be seeing Kota Racing. And along with the new rebranding, they now have a new livery as well as the team owner. British Kota has done the rebrand a couple of days ago. Officially, it is now Kota Racing, and they are now in P. Is that P18 and P19? Or I must be mistaken. No. So they are doing their best out on track right now. As you can see, that amazing tea white and black color. So that's P19 and P22. So as you can see here, there's Lucy and Geo Mill. Oh no! I think there has to be a spin right there by Geo Mill. Unfortunate stuff. And Geo Mill gets back on track. That is pretty unfortunate, but Geo Mill got it back. So people, we're now at 4 minutes and 45 seconds remaining on qualifying, and there are now 3 individuals within the 1 minute and 32 mark, and Mommy has advanced to P3. Oh, actually, never mind. It is Epic Brother 55 and the Sister KR Racing that gets that P3 spot. And that is pretty masterclass right there by Epic Brother. That means there are 2 KR Racing drivers on the podium spot for qualifying. I wouldn't say exactly podium, but that's part of the 1, 2, and 3 drivers. Oh, seems like Puraka has just gotten the first person to reach the 1 minute and 31s. That is amazing! Puraka in the Craig Racing outfit just got 1 minute and 31 seconds. That is the first time, I believe, that a Craig Racing has gotten temporary pole, and Seva is in P2. Oh man, that is going to be 3 minutes 45 seconds remaining on the qualifying session, and that means there's only limited time left for Seva to keep up the pace. But dang, that is about 2/10 ahead of Seva, the man who had been leading over the past several rounds for Ion GT3. Okay, that is really, really amazing. By the way, we are now in round 5 of the Grand Touring for Ion Racing, and that is going to be here in Greece, the Thessaloniki International Raceway. So you're seeing this grandiose and ancient location that also gives us amazing overtakes and action on track, as this is also speed. There has been a lot of good events over the past seasons of Ion that took place here, and there are too many to mention. Right now, 2 minutes 25 seconds in qualifying. This is gonna be heated as Seva goes into the starting grid and does not improve on his time. That is 1 minute and 32 seconds still for the KR Racing driver, the same man who had been leading and getting the pole positions over the past 5 races of GT3. Buraka has gotten the lead so far. That is temporary pole for him, and this could possibly mean that Buraka could get the pole position if Seva or any other driver does not improve on their time. This is amazing. This means that Buraka and Seva could be in an intense fight later on. And seems like Aghanis has moved up once again to the top 5 positions, getting a P4 spot right there. So there are now 5 people, actually 6, forgive me, that have gotten 1 minute 32s and below, with the exception of Buraka, who is now 1 minute and 31. Okay, Seva's got in a green sector too, so that means this only lies up to the sector 3 of Seva to possibly get that pole position. We may never know what he would get, but let us see as he crosses the starting grid in a few moments' time. He gets to the chicane, a bit of a mistake right there, but he crosses it. Will he get it? Oh no! Seva does not improve on the time, but still, he has 1 more lap to go. 51 seconds remaining in qualifying, and Buraka seems to have a steady and firm grip on that P1 spot. Ladies and gentlemen, this is gearing up to be really, really exciting today. as we have 22 people watching now on the stream. So hello to everyone watching. Good evening to you all, or good afternoon, depending on where you guys are. This is gonna be great. 26 seconds, 25 now, and Baraka apparently is not going to set another lap as he is running on track right now. I believe all the way back to the pits or onto the car. I may never know. But Seva has gotten a green sector 1. We have now 8 seconds left in qualifying, so these drivers will now have limited time to get their best laps out there. Okay, so qualifying is finished, and Baraka has gotten temporary pole. Seva is still out there on track. Green sector 1 for him as Viplummy finishes in P8. Eric Keppery in P7 right now, but will he be able to improve on that one? Seva gets a yellow sector 2. This is gonna be intense. Oh wow. We have no idea how this will end, people, but oh no! What just happened there? I think one of the KR drivers crashed. And we now have Aghanis in P4, Epic Brother in P3, Seva in P2. Let us see how this would be. Oh, snap! There's another hit right there by one of the drivers. I can't even tell. I think that is Big Boy in the Hoshi Shirogane, and Sector 3 near the starting grid just hit the wall. Unfortunate for that one. And it seems like... Alright, so I have no clue as well on what happened with the KR right there. I just saw that unfortunate shunt, but I think it has to be Seva. But right now, people, that could be the pole position for Baraka in Greece. Alright, we're now taking a look at the replay here. Seva, that is him approaching Sector 2. Oh, he hits that curb, takes a bit too much there. And that has to be really horrendous for the driver as he goes off onto the barrier there, the wall. That is not going to be good for him as he respawns and exits the car. Really unfortunate for Seva, but that could have been a great sector had that mistake not happened. But still, that was good effort by the driver and for everyone else. Seems like, ladies and gentlemen, the one in the pole position for today's race is Baraka of Craig Racing GT3. This would be intense indeed, as I believe this is the first time Craig Racing would be on pole for this season. Alright, people, let's get onto this event. Boys and girls, welcome back to Ion Racing GT3. We are now in round 5, and this is in Greece, the Thessaloniki International Raceway, where we are gonna gear up for some amazing action on track this afternoon or this evening, depending on where you are in the world. For your information, the pole position for this race goes to Baraka of the Craig Racing outfit, and this is the first time that Craig Racing has gotten a pole position for this season. And unfortunately, because of a shunt by Seva, he wasn't able to improve on his time, which could have been really essential for him to get that pole position this afternoon. But either way, amazing effort by all the drivers and fantastic driving by Baraka to get that P1 in the pole position for this race. So this is going to be really action-packed as we wait for the race to begin. So some news for you, ladies and gentlemen. There has been a rebrand in one of the teams here, and that is going to be Valor Racing. They're now rebranded to Kota Racing in what they call this, in homage to their team owner, British Kota. who had rebranded the team, and we now have a new livery as well following Kota Racing. So take a look at that amazing teal, white, and black colors if you see it on track. So by the way, people, if you are new to the Thessaloniki International Raceway, this place is really ancient and also remarkable because this place has given birth to a lot of great events over the past years of Iron Racing. And now that we're back here for GT3, this is gonna be exciting indeed. Also, one of the things that the drivers must be careful of is the final chicane leading all the way to the starting grid. If you fail this, you will definitely go out of position and possibly just go off the track. And that would be really, really bad indeed, you gotta tell me. And also, around turn 3 of the race, because if you hit these curves and outside the track, that would be really, really hard for you to go back and possibly get your lead in the race. So make sure that if you are a driver, you must be really careful around these parts. You don't want to go and move on and lose your chances of winning. And also, ladies and gentlemen, if you have just gotten and joined the stream today, my name is Arceus. I am one of the Ion GT3 commentators, and it's my pleasure to be here with you all today. If you're new to Ion Racing, please do subscribe so that you can be tuned in for more of these amazing content. We're now aiming to reach 3.42k subscribers, so if you help us reach that milestone, that would be really, really great. And also, there's only 14 likes on this video, and we have 22 people watching now. I would really appreciate it if you haven't liked. Please do like now, so that you can show your support to Ion Media. And also, people, if you are new to the stream, there has been some news in the paddock, and could be evident by two of the teams that we see here, as KR Racing is now donning a new livery, a one-off livery rather, for this race. This is in homage to the F1C racing team. So that you can see here, they have the pink shades on their hood. That's really amazing. As you can see there, and another additional color to boost up their car. So we're now seeing the drivers gear up. So let's just wait for a bit, people. Hopefully we can see the lights out in a while. And as you can see there, ladies and gentlemen, we now have the cars lining up on track. So we're seeing, once again, beautiful and vibrant colors beautifying our grid this afternoon. We can see colors of red, green, blue, pink, violet. All of these colors are really amazing to see, especially as we have an action-packed grid this afternoon. Alright, people, so we're just waiting for the race to begin. So, hello once again to everyone watching. It's great to see that we now have 33 people watching now. So, we are unsure on when the summer break would be, but in the meantime, let us just celebrate and enjoy this race. So, this will be a 29 lap race for the feature, and I believe a 9 lap race for the sprint race. So this is going to be exciting. Okay, so there's the announcement. All the personnel will now be leaving the track. This means the race is about to begin. So on the third lap of the sprint race, there will be collisions on, and that means there will be action and possibly crashes. And hopefully we would see some good and decent fights on the track today. Okay, now we're seeing the lights go out in a few moments. So the drivers now going in and out of their vehicles to settle their names on the leaderboard. And if you are just new to the stream, we have Buraka and P1, so that is the first time a Crake Racing driver has gotten pole position. The sprint race is now going to be underway soon. Oh, this will be exciting because we are going to be seeing collisions on lap 3. That could lead to a lot of events later on this afternoon. Alright, people, so the lights are gonna be ready now. We're now in 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Okay. And we're now racing here in Greece. Okay, this is really exciting as we see Seva possibly trying to overtake Buraka there as Buraka defends his position. He's trying to say to Seva, no, this will be my position. You're not gonna take that from me. As Seva is trying to go and take that place back, because he has been getting all those positions over the past rounds as they now approach turn 4 of the race in this really dangerous zone. If you mess this up, it could spin your car. As we now have Buraka still maintaining that lead, but we could not determine which one's which because of the vision lag that we have right now. As they approach turn 5 and turn 6, we can see these drivers going in for some moves against their respective rivals as Seva takes the lead after that Sector 1 registry, and Agnes is in P2. Oh wow, what happened to Buraka right there? That's 6/10 behind of Seva. Okay, that is quite an event right there, people. Epic Brother 55 in P3, and Buraka has gotten down to P4. That's not the result that Buraka wants to see, but that is racing. Alright, so Seva right now is still in P1. Agnes is trying to go chase Seva right there. That is pretty amazing to see as they now approach Sector 2. Seva has gotten that redemption to get 2 purple sectors. Epic Brother into Sister KR Racing, 7/10 behind of Seva. Now in P2, Buraka has gotten that lead, but is tied with Agnes with 0.8 behind of Seva. 0.8. Oh, I mean 8 behind of Seva. My apologies. Epic Brother 55 trying to go catch Seva, but it seems like Seva still gets that lead as he crosses the starting grid. Alright, now Seva all the way to turn 4 of the race. Epic Brother just on his side. This is looking to be really intense for the 2KR drivers, but we are unsure yet who's gonna come out in front. Buraka in P3, Low Fun Greg is now in P4, so that means both of the Crake drivers are now in the top 5. Wow! Buraka now in top 3, as well as Low Fun Greg. This is quite an improvement by the Crake Racing drivers. Wow, they are now the top 5 of the race. Top 3 and 4 respectively. Amazing drive by these two drivers. Man, I should definitely get myself some Craig later this afternoon. Agnes has dropped to P5, 3 seconds adrift of Seva, who is now 1 second ahead of Epic Brother and 1.2 seconds ahead of Baraka, who just got the pole position early on this afternoon. Right now, it's Baraka and Low Fun Greg on P2 and P3, these quick drivers. This is intense, people. We could see Baraka possibly fighting for the lead if he overtakes Seva. Wow, this is phenomenal to see, ladies and gentlemen. Two Craig drivers filling up the P2 and P3 spots this afternoon. Lap 3 now, so any minute we could be seeing collisions in this race. The sprint race, by the way, people, this is not yet the feature race. It's quite fascinating to see Seva still maintain that lead right there. And as he approaches the F1 DRS zone number 1, he gets a yellow sector 1. Baraka, on the contrary, is now 2 seconds adrift of Seva, and Low Fun Greg is just 8 tenths behind of Baraka. This is quite an amazing gap. That means the two Craig drivers are just side by side along each other, just showing the amazing masterclass and racecraft of these two drivers. Agnes is now in P4, Eric Kepri in P5, Just Matt in the Tri-Spirit GP now in P6. Previously, Just Matt was in Toyota Zeco and now shifted to Tri-Spirit, so we could now see this driver in P6. Let us head down further to the midfield as we spectate Blue Sonic Gen, who is just 1 second behind of Lomazan, the team owner of Luxor Competition, an XBEL Series racing team. We can see Lomazan just trying to game out on Big Boy. He's in P8, but Lomazan is under heavy attack. Oh no! I think that is Lomazan in the third sector, just flipping over there by the chicanes. Oh, that is really horrendous. I really hope that he is okay there, but he has lost a lot of places because of that unfortunate crash, and he needs to pick up the pace to possibly be back in contention. So go Lomazan, you got this, you got this. Let us go back to the action in front. We are now in the front runners of the race. Let us spectate Seva, who is now 4.7 seconds ahead of Baraka. And that is quite an amazing drive so far. You can see the consistency here by Seva as he's delivering lap after lap after lap. He's actually 4 seconds ahead of Baraka, the closest individual that he could race with. So in this case, collisions would not be a problem for him. However, for the guys in the midfield and down the grid, there could be some problems if they do hit other people. So that's going to be something that the drivers must be careful of. I think something just happened around there, but I could not see because of the cameras. Apparently, Just Matt has gotten up to P5. Epic Brother has gotten down to P6. Eric Kepper, meanwhile, in P4. That was a really close call there by Just Matt as Eric Kepri, I believe, overtakes him. And Epic Brother 55 as well, side by side. These three drivers, I'm talking about Epic Brother, Just Matt, and Eric Kepri are almost side by side. You can see the battles against these men as they now approach turns 2 and 3 of the racetrack. It seems like Eric Kepri is still ahead of Just Matt. Just Matt is trying to go pounds onto Eric Kepri right there, possibly trying to get that P4 spot. And it seems like Eric Kepri is still ahead. Agnes has gotten P5, and Just Matt and Epic Brother have just drifted down the line. That's amazing right there by Agnes in P5, trying to go and recuperates from the past laps of this race. We now have 4 more laps remaining before the sprint race ends. That is going to be, 4 laps remaining. We now have Seva in P1, 6.5 seconds ahead of Baraka, people. You can just see the amazing driving, craftsmanship, and the consistency of this driver, as he is 6.5 seconds and advancing ahead of his closest rival, Baraka. The pole position, the man who has gotten P1 early in this race. Man, you can see that level of driving that Seva has. Lap 6 out of 9. And apparently he has extended his lead by 0.3 of a second now, as Baraka is 6.8 seconds behind. Actually 6.7 now, as 500s were gained by the Craig driver. Oh, I think something happened to Agnes right there. What has happened to Agnes as he goes down the line? He's now in P8, and Big Boy and the other drivers, Eric Capri, Epic Brother, Just Matt, have gotten up the field. Something must have happened by Agnes there. Possibly an unfortunate mistake. Agnes, by the way, people, has been doing really well over the past races. Because come to think of it, Agnes got his first podium for the season in round 1. This was back in France several weeks ago. Right now, he's trying to go and catch up against the others, but unfortunately almost hits that curb right there. And could have led to a spin if he did not control his car properly. But great job for Agnes to keep his car well on track. Let us head over to Agnes once again, who has gotten that overtake against Big Boy and is now up to P7. That recovery by Agnes is really amazing there, as he is now on the hunt to possibly overtake Just Matt in P6. About 3 seconds. Oh no! Is that Agnes who goes a bit too wide there? That is not what Agnes wants if he is about to overtake the person in front of them. Meanwhile, we can see here Tesla Rosa just 2 places behind of Agnes, trying to possibly gain on Big Boy in the Hoshi Shirogane outfit. Because of that unfortunate mistake, by the way, by Agnes, he has now dropped down to P10. That is P10 by Agnes. That's only about a 10th behind of Blue Sonic Gen. So once Sector 2 comes, we could possibly be seeing who's ahead of these 2 drivers. Will it be Agnes or Blue Sonic Gen in the Uprise Motorsports? Oh, my apologies. Meme Racing, the sister team. And it seems like Agnes has gotten the upper hand. It now in P9 right there for Agnes, on the hunt to possibly take out Tesla Rosa. Alright people, let's go back to the front runners. Back to Seva. Apparently, there must be some tire wear issues going on there, because Baraka is extending his gap. Now 4.3 seconds behind of Seva. Just a bit more to possibly be closer to the man in P1. Dolphun Greg, meanwhile, 7.7 seconds behind of Seva. That's 3 seconds behind of Baraka. So these 2 drivers, Baraka and Greg, really almost close to one another. I think something happened there, because Baraka just lost 2 seconds at least. And it's about to be closer to Dolphun Greg. Okay people, so there is now a poll in the stream, so let us see. Who do you think would win this race? The sprint race, I mean. Would it be Seva or Baraka, or Greg, or maybe somebody else. We now have 75% votes. 83% now voting for Seva. This is intense. That's gonna be 6 seconds behind. Actually, 4.8 seconds now behind the Baraka. So we're now lap 8 out of 9 people. Only one more lap after this. This could possibly be a win by Seva. But that is if he does not make any mistakes. Baraka is now approaching turn 2 of the race, and he is just 3.4 seconds behind of Baraka. Definitely tired where he's going on here, and Baraka could possibly snatch that position if he does well. Greg, meanwhile, 5.1 seconds behind of Seva, getting closer and closer to the driver in front. Seva has now gotten Sector 1 under his hand. And now let's just wait for Baraka, 3.55 seconds. Okay, this could possibly mean Seva might win if he keeps this up. I wonder how many drinks of Craig did Baraka and Greg have this afternoon, because that's an amazing pace that they have out there. Sharing a double podium, hopefully, if the two drivers finish well in this race. Really fantastic effort by both of the drivers. And Seva now passes Sector 2 all the way to Sector 3, people. 3.2 seconds separates him and Baraka. That's gonna be intense as he approaches the DRS zone for F1. Seva and Baraka are now on the final corners. But apparently I think Seva's gonna go win this. Seva gets across the chicane nice and steady as he approaches the starting grid. Will Seva win this? And he does! Seva wins the sprint race, followed by Baraka, P2 right there, and Greg possibly in P3, but I think that's an unfortunate... Oh, never mind. Greg almost binned it there, but good recovery by the drivers. That is a double podium for Craig Racing, and then again another victory by KR Racing. Ladies and gentlemen, this was such an amazing sprint race this afternoon as we see Seva Proj just getting P1 in sprint race. And congratulations as well to our top 10. Allow me to dictate the 10 amazing drivers who got into the points. Actually, no, let's go begin from top 15, because in GT3, there's a different point system. Top 15 for the sprint race is Lomazan. Top 14, Viplummy. Top 13 is Steven Liu. Top 12 is Silver. Top 11 is Blue Sonic Gen. Top 10 is JCass. Top 9 is Tesla Rossa. Top 8, Agonies. Top 7, Big Boy. Top 6, Epic Brother 55. Top 5, Just Matt. Top 4, Eric Capri. And your podium sitters, we have Low Fun Greg, Baraka, and Seva. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to the 9. And now let's talk about that previous, incident over the final chicane. I believe that was Viplummy who flipped on that corner. Take a look at this replay, ladies and gentlemen. The unfortunate stop by Viplummy, but that needed to get an amazing recovery to possibly make it to the points. And Viplummy just gets there, almost gets there actually. P14, almost out of the points. But unfortunate shunt by Viplummy, but he gets into the points. Amazing recovery by the driver. And that concludes the sprint race, the first race of this event. So people, we're going to be seeing the main action in the feature race today. I have no idea how many laps that would be, but we'll see later on. In the meantime, we're going to be waiting for the feature race to commence. So be back, and we will tune in once again. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's about to be the feature race. This event, so we're gonna be seeing some intense fights on the track later on. We can now see a reverse grid positioning happening around. That actually happens because for the feature race, there will be a reverse grid after the sprint race. But right now we have, 10,000 laps. Oh, wow. Just kidding. There's going to be 29 laps, so that's roughly 32, 35 minutes. Depends. We can now see the drivers jumping in and out of the cars. 29 laps, no collisions. The feature race will commence in the next few moments. And it's about to race as we're now beginning the feature race here in Greece. Oh my goodness, we now have JCAS right there in P1. This is the starting grid position there as they all approach turn 1 of the race. Apparently some vision lag going on here, but we can see a lot of drivers almost in the same part. Seems like that is quite amazing as we can see all the drivers now approaching turn 4 of the race. There could be some overtakes after Sector 1, but we may never know yet. Okay, lap 1 out of 29 laps. This is going to be exciting indeed. Let us see if JCAS will be able to maintain that P1. Seems like other people have already overtaken him. And I guess Epic Brother 55 goes on to the lead. Sector 1, here we go. Big Boy in P2. Eric Capri rather in P3. And Lol Fun Greg still in the top 5 there. P4. Alright, so we're now approaching Sector 2, ladies and gentlemen. We can see here that Epic Brother still maintains that lead. 3/10 separates him and Big Boy. Apparently it's now 0.1. I guess Eric Capri has gotten the lead right there. And Greg is back in the podium spots. Wow, what an amazing recovery there by Greg, who started in P8 for the starting grid. That is because of the reverse grid situation. Greg right now apparently has overtaken Big Boy. I guess he would be in P2. And Greg does. He's now just a 10th behind of Eric Capri. Goes a bit too wide there, as well as Eric. I think there has to be a change of positions there, but on the screen right now, we can see that both Greg and Eric are fighting side by side as they approach turn 4. That is intense, but unfortunately for Big Boy, he has dropped down to P4. Epic Brother 55 and Lol Fun Greg are almost close to one another, but they are even closer because Lol Fun Greg is just a 10th behind of Epic Brother, and Greg snatches the lead of the race. He is now in P1. The great racing driver has gotten the pole right now in P2. Lap 2. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I said P2 for lap 2. Human mistake. My apologies. Alright, so we now have here a 900-second gap of Epic Brother and Lol Fun Greg. So that is pretty sick to see that close of a gap between these two drivers. And Epic Brother 55 has gotten that lead once again, as Greg is now 2/10 behind of Epic Brother. Man, just for a few moments there, Greg had gotten the lead of the race. But that must have been a good feeling, as Epic Brother and Greg are now almost together. As all of these drivers approach the starting grid, Epic Brother 55 maintains the lead, and Greg remains in P2. Seba, meanwhile, we didn't see him earlier because he was in the top 10, is now in P3, just a 7/10 gap behind of Epic Brother 55, and that's gonna be 4/10 behind of Greg. Oh, seems like Seba could possibly get the lead in lap 4, lap 5, but we never know. Greg is now 2 tenths behind of Epic Brother, and Seva and Agnes are almost close to one another as Agnes gets the fastest lap of the race. You can see here by the purple bars around his name. Seva is now 6 tenths behind of Epic Brother, just gained 1/10 from the previous lap. Seems like Greg right now is in some sort of battle against Just Matt. As they now all approach Sector 2, Agnes has gotten up to P3, and Epic Brother is tied with Lolfun Greg. There has to be an intense fight going on because we can see here Agnes possibly in the lead, and Greg is just following the driver from Toyota who could possibly get the lead of the race after turn 3. Agnes gets the lead of the race come lap 4, and Lolfun Greg is now in P2. Epic Brother 55 is in P3, Just Matt in P4. Man, what an amazing drive by Agnes there earlier in the sprint race. Agnes was just having a hard time trying to get those positions up. But then again, his recovery, his tenacity, his masterclass, his racecraft has gotten him here in P1 for the feature race. So we're now here on the screen of Greg, who's now trying to pounce against Agnes in the Toyota outfit. You can see here Agnes is now in the lead. Earlier it was Greg, earlier it was Epic Brother. We have seen a switcheroo of drivers, changing from lead to lead, driver to driver, lap after lap. This is quite intense, and we're just in lap 4. By the way, people, if you haven't known, Crake is actually a drink, an energy drink that is really quite famous in the road racing community. So if you have not tried Crake yet, you definitely should. This would, I have heard some rumors that if you take Crake, it would give you an energy boost in the race. So apparently here, Greg has gotten Crake here, and he is now in the podium spots. And is still remaining in the podium spots. But what happened to Buraka? Buraka is now in P4. Just a 10th behind of Eric Capri in the KR Racing. And Agnes is still in P1. I repeat, Agnes is still in P1. On board now with Lolfun Greg. Right behind him is Eric Capri. Just about a second behind. I think 7/10 rather. And Agnes has been extending his lead over Lolfun Greg, but not anymore. That's just 9/10 separating him and Agnes. That is quite immense. We need to go take a look at Seva, who's now down to P7. That is not the result that he wants. Earlier that Seva was running in P3. There must have been a mistake going on, or a slipstream, that caused him to go down. We're now approaching the final straights of lap 5, and Agnes is 1.5 seconds ahead of Lolfun Greg. Take note that this is all up into strategy, people. It could be that Agnes is running the softs, and soft tires means faster lap times. Greg, meanwhile, is now in 2 seconds of a gap behind of Agnes, who's been getting fastest lap after fastest lap right there. Agnes getting that amazing entry to turn 4. That is now 3 seconds separating Agnes and Lolfun Greg. Seems like Agnes is trying to do An amazing stunt here by extending his lead by 3 seconds every lap. But I guess Seva is just a matter of time before he approaches Agonis's radar and possibly overtake him. We may never know just yet. Seems like Baraka and Lolfon Greg now, as well as Eric Kepri, are in a close knit against one another. Who could possibly get ahead of the other? Eric Kepri goes ahead of Baraka right there. He's now in P2. Baraka's dropped down a position back to P3. Lap 7 we go. Baraka is now in P2. Look at the switchover over there by the two Craig Racing drivers. Earlier, Baraka was in P4. Greg was in P2. And now there has been a change. Greg is now back to P4. Baraka in P2. Eric Kepri separating and sandwiching the two Craig drivers. Take a look at that. Baraka is doing pretty well out there. And Agonis, meanwhile, is now 4.2 seconds ahead of Eric Kepri, his closest rival at the moment. Eric Kepri, meanwhile, gets a green Sector 1. That's an amazing lead so far by the Toyota outfit. This is quite great. For Toyota as a constructor, this is pretty much good news. If Agonis... Oh, he almost spins there, actually. But if Agonis brings home the victory, that could be amazing for Toyota Advan. If you didn't know, Toyota is doing pretty well in the real-life WEC, or the Endurance Championship. Oh, I think Agonis almost spun there, but still keeps it on track. Baraka on the Craig Racing team is in P2. Greg, meanwhile, has lost a position again, is now in P4 as he crosses the line 5.8 seconds behind of Agonis. This must be tire wear. So we're seeing the POV of Greg. I wonder what cameras they use here in the vehicles. Maybe they do use GoPros. Lap 8 out of 29, I don't see anyone pitting just yet. And seems like Greg is losing time. 6.1 seconds behind of Agonis, who is now 4.3 seconds ahead of Baraka, the closest rival that he has now. Oh, we can see here, I think that was just Matt going a bit too wide there. And Greg now tries to keep that apex, a bit of a lag right there, as the three other drivers in front of him just got a bit too wide. Sector 2 they go. And Greg is losing positions. Never mind, Greg is losing time. My goodness. And lap 9 we go. Agonis is surprisingly still on the lead right there. And that has been several laps so far. Ever since lap 5, I believe. What has happened over there? I think something happened to Baraka that promotes Greg to P4. Agonis now is 5.1 seconds ahead of Eric Kepri. He is possibly doing what Seva has been doing over the past several rounds. Round 1, 2, 3, 4. Man, Seva meanwhile is in P7, 14 seconds adrift. That isn't the strategy that he wants to do right now, but there could possibly be a magic recovery depending on the pit stops later. Seems like Agonis is keeping up this consistency. Almost spins there, but still maintains that position on track. Baraka has gotten ahead of Greg right there, who's now 8.2 seconds behind of Agonies. Oh snap! That was a hit in the wall. I think that's Agonies who now goes into the pits. That's the first one to ever enter the pits. And that could possibly be what tires. We have no idea what tires he just pitted for. But Agonies is now on his way out of the pits. P8 on his exit. And just Matt, previously in Toyota Zeko, is now in P1. Lap 10 we go. This is quite intense. Just Matt in P1, that's a Tri-Spirit back in the lead. The last time we saw this was in France with the third wheel getting P1. Agonies has unfortunately dropped down. What has happened over there? If you haven't known, since we could not change the camera at the moment, Agonies has dropped down in several positions. That's in P13 now. Since Agonies has pitted early, this could be a two-stop strategy going on. Eric Capri has snatched the lead of the race, now in P1. Okay, I think I just saw one of the drivers head into the pits. That is just Matt, who was earlier leading the race, and that brings Baraka to P1. Baraka is now in P1. Greg has gotten P3 once again. So this is a 1-3 for Craig so far. We just have 20 plus laps remaining. Oh, my apologies. More than 15 laps remaining, rather. At the moment, we are now in the perspective of Greg, who is now in P3, just 1 second behind of his teammate Baraka. Seva, meanwhile, is now in P4, 6.9 seconds behind of the leader. Agonies has now moved up to P10, tied with Epic Brother 55. Greg now approaches the starting grid and is now 0.5 seconds behind of Baraka. And I guess those two drivers almost got too wide there. This could possibly mean an advantage for Greg. Alright, on to turn 5 they go. Here we go. Let us see what's gonna happen here. Seems like Eric Capriati has gotten the lead so far. And yes, he does. Greg, meanwhile, has improved his pace. Is now 0.7 seconds behind of Eric. And Baraka, meanwhile, is just a 10th behind. That means these two drivers, Baraka and Greg, are side by side as they approach another turn. Onto Sector 2 they go. Who will go out of this? Will it be Baraka? Yes, he does. Baraka gets ahead of Greg, but this is quite a battle that we have been talking about at the beginning of this session. This is Craig. Man, this has been one of the best performances of Craig Racing so far. Both their drivers are on the podium spots once again. But that is only because they have not pitted yet. Aganis is moving up the ladder. He's now in P7 and still has the fastest lap of the race. Lap 13 out of 29 people. We now have Eric Capri just 8 tenths behind of Baraka, and Greg has dropped down once again, but he's still in P3. As Seva is on the hunt, but with those tires, he definitely needs to consider another strategy. Right now, Agnes has increased his pace. He's now in P6. Just 2 seconds behind of AG Capadonna in the Uprise Motorsports. Snap! That was Agnes right there, almost bidding it, but good recovery by the driver. Lap 14 now out of 29. So we're almost halfway. Actually, I believe we're now halfway. Okay, so Agnes has been improving his pace. He's now in P6, P5, people. P5, and now just 3 seconds behind of Seva, who was recently leading the race earlier. Oh, so let us actually, let's, how do they say this? First and foremost, thank you very much to British Coda. That is a donation by the Valor Racing, which is now Coda Racing team owner. So thank you very much, Kota. That is really amazing. That's €2, I believe, and $1. So that is really, what do you call this? Really helpful for Ion Media. Thank you very much, and we are really appreciate it. Okay, people, so there is now a poll in the chat. So, who do you think will win this race, the feature race? We are now in the halfway of the race, so we have Baraka, Eric Capri, or Lol Fun Greg. Who do you think will win this? Seems like there are 29% of individuals who believe that someone else would win this race. Okay, so people, some updates. Greg has officially pitted, and he's now in the pits. That's, I believe, the first Craig driver to enter the pits, with Baraka still on the lead. Eric Capri, by the way, just a 10th behind, and Seva has now improved his pace, is back to P3. Agnes, however, is just 3/10 behind him. That is quite an amazing recovery. And Agnes has just overtaken Seva. He's now in P3. This Toyota is on fire this afternoon. And Seva, meanwhile, has dropped down to P4. So then again, thank you for the donation, British Kota, team owner of Kota Racing, previously known as Valor Racing. That really means a lot to us. Agnes now just 1.3 seconds behind of Eric Capri, who has been on that position just momentarily because Baraka had dropped down a position. And now these three drivers are now approaching the starting grid, I believe. Baraka is still on the lead, but seems like Agnes has gotten P2. And Agnes is now 3/10 behind Baraka. This is intense. Eric Herbry now goes for a pit stop right there as Baraka goes a bit too wide. He goes a bit too wide there. And this could possibly mean that Agnes could have gotten P1 here. As we see these two drivers turn into turns 2 and 3. Seems like Baraka is ahead, but we don't know. We will only know this once they have both passed Sector 1. Some updates, people. There are now there are now 3 drivers rather in the pits. That's Mommy, Capadonna, and Epic Brother. And Agnes has gotten the lead of the race. Baraka has not pitted yet, I believe. And Agnes, after that pit stop, has retaken the lead with fresh new tires. Ladies and gentlemen, you just have to appreciate the driving of Agnes here. He definitely deserves praise and admiration, for he has delivered that Toyota from P10 back to P1 after the pit stop. Amazing recovery there, as he is now 1 second ahead of Baraka. That is quite an amazing recovery, as he almost bends it there and almost hits the wall, but Agnes just keeps it on track. Baraka and Agnes almost side by side, but then Baraka sadly goes ahead and approaches the sand, and the sand didn't like him, so that dropped him down. Agnes, meanwhile, still has the fastest lap of the race. Seva is back in P3, just 3.8 seconds behind of Agnes. Seva has been not on the front runners so far, but it would take massive skill and strategy to get that lead back. So the top 3 are now separated by 6 seconds to the rest. Alright, people, I believe Baraka has just passed Sector 2, and Agnes, meanwhile, is now approaching the long straight. That is now 3.4 seconds separating him and Baraka, and that is quite a lead so far here, as Agnes keeps on improving on his pace. Amazing! That is quite a phenomenal recovery by the driver as he finishes lap 18. Baraka is now 6 seconds behind of Agnes, while Seva is 6/10 behind Baraka. This could possibly be an overtake. We may never know, people, but Seva is on the hunt, trying to reclaim what was rightfully his. But Baraka defending that P2 like a knight in shining armor. As we can see here, and Seva has gotten the lead of the race at 7.2 seconds. Just behind of Agnes, as we can see here, Baraka is just 2/10 behind of Seva now. Seva and Agnes are your top 2 runners right now in this race, people. Lap 18 out of 29. Agnes, however, is just on a league of his own right now. That's 8.5 seconds separating him and Baraka, as Seva has dropped down a second. Agnes on his way. Oh, snap! Almost clips that chicane badly. But Agnes gets in properly. Lap 19, 10 laps remaining, people. 10 more laps before the race finishes. And this is gearing up to be intense. As we can see here, Seva has taken the pit stop. That means he's gonna go pit in for new tires. Alright people, we have no idea on who's gonna win this race because there have been a lot of strategies going on, and Agnes is now 10.7 seconds ahead of Baraka. Quite a massive gap over there by the Toyota driver. That is great to see, really great to see. But Baraka definitely has to improve on his pace. I know Baraka has it, but still, with those tires, definitely Baraka has to pit anytime soon. Just mad. Meanwhile, 12.7 seconds behind of Agnes. That's 2 No, actually, that's 2 seconds behind of Baraka. Baraka definitely has to consider going to the pits now. His tires are saying, man, I'm tired, bro. I'm tired. Please just go replace me in the pits. And right now, people, lap 20 out of 29. In case you're just tuning in, first and foremost, hello and welcome to the stream. Agnes is now 25 seconds ahead of everybody else. That is quite immense. As we see here, Agnes in the Toyota Advan. He is now on the lead by 25 seconds ahead. Man, that strategy has worked out really amazing. It's now up to Eric Capri and Low Fun Greg to possibly get those spots, but that's gonna be difficult in the next few laps. Seva, meanwhile, 30.75 seconds behind of Agnes. That's not the position that he wants to end up today. If Seva wants to be on the podium, he has to go and push. Just keep on pushing and sprinting forward. But that would mean Greg might be going down. Or Eric Capri, I have no idea. Agnes is doing pretty well so far out there. But that's probably gonna be a victory for Agnes if he keeps up there without any mistakes. And congratulations so far. Okay, people, I guess that is Agnes going in for a two-stop. This is indeed a two-stop strategy. Okay. We're seeing this now. Agnes could have gotten it if he just stayed in there. But I have no idea. There could be another magic going on here. But Eric Capri might be just right behind the Agnes after this 20-second pit stop. Eric Capri now approaching. And Agnes is on the way out. Who would possibly come in front? Agnes 7 seconds ahead of Eric Capri. And Agnes just goes right ahead of Eric Capri. Wow! That pit stop was magical. Seems like Eric Capri is just directly behind of Agnes here. Who could possibly get ahead of these two drivers? Will it be Eric? Will it be Agnes? Or will it be Lowell Fun Greg? I have no idea, but dang, this is sick. He just comes out of everybody else with just fresher tires, people. All the way to Sector 1 now, the first DRS zone. Let us see. That's just 1.4 seconds separating Agnes and Eric Capri. This is the last train to the finish, guys. 7 more laps remaining. That strategy was well executed, quoting Andre from Red Bull. What an amazing pit stop right there, an amazing strategy as well by Agnes to maintain that lead over the past 15 laps. Eric Capri, meanwhile, is on his back. Oh, never mind, that's 2.3 seconds. But dang, Seva is now on the podium spots, overtaking Lowell Fun Greg and Baraka right there. Oh no, this could be a KR Racing 2-3 if these two drivers maintain that pace until the end. Agnes, meanwhile, this has been masterclass by the driver. Remaining in P1 and even sets a purple Sector 3. That's intense. Lap 23 out of 29 people. I'm talking about 6 laps remaining on this race. This has been so tiring, but dang, this has not lacked action, and that's what we love about GT3, people. Okay, seems like we have a driver going to the pits now. That is Silver. At this point, Baraka is 3 seconds adrift of Lowell Fun Greg. Let us see. Seva now in P2. That's 3.9 seconds separating him and Agnes. Okay. These two teams, I'm talking about KR Racing and Toyota, they have had their own strategies going on this race. And it seems like these two strategies are working out pretty well. Now it's all about driver skill and racecraft that would bring either of these two drivers to the win. Just take note, people, Seva is now 3.9 seconds behind of Agnes. That's 1 second clear of Eric Capri, and that could possibly mean a tight battle to the finish. Seva now on the hunt to possibly overtake Agnes. We have no clue, but Agnes is out of the radar. 4.4 seconds. Five more laps remaining on this race, people. And it seems like Agnes is maintaining his position there as he now approaches the first F1 DRS zone of the track. Consistency is key for this driver, but Seva, meanwhile, on a strategy of his own, is now on the hunt. 4.3 seconds. That's a tenth faster than the previous sector. Greg, meanwhile, we're now on his radar. On his POV, is on P4. That's 1 second adrift of Eric Capri. If Greg wants to secure the podium for the podium celebration, he has to go and overtake Eric Capri. Agnes now about to approach the final DRS zone of lap 24. Let us see. Baraka has now taken the position of Lowell Fun Greg. 8.0 seconds separates Baraka and Agnes. Agnes getting a green sector 2. Agnes still on the lead. Lap 25 out of 29. 4 laps remaining, people. 4 laps remaining, ladies and gentlemen. And this has been gearing up to be action-packed. The final act of this Grand Prix, of this GT race, has been really productive. As we see Seva and Agnes, these two have been rivals rather, in France. And right now we're seeing the same thing. But this time it's a different case because Seva is behind of Agnes and Agnes has been maintaining that lead. A masterclass, a good strategy called by his team, and of course, amazing racecraft. Seva is giving it his all out there today, but Agnes and Toyota are just celebrating right now. They're like saying, "This is our win! Go Agnes! Go Agnes!" As they're probably possibly saying in the garage right now. But Seva, oh no! Oh no! I think that was almost a spin by Agnes, but good thing he keeps it on track. Oh my goodness, it was so close. Seva now 5.35 behind the Agnes, trying to do his best to get that lead. He's giving it his all out there, but this strategies that just didn't go well today. But still. Oh no, seems like Baraka and Just Matt are now tied to one another. That's quite immense. Oh snap. Seva has just improved on that one. That's now 4 seconds flat behind the Agnes. Agnes could possibly be saying, "I'ma go defend this position. I will defend this until the end." And this GT3 race has been so competitive from the beginning. This really reminds me of a lot of different occasions where Seva has just been fighting hard with his rivals. And right now, he's just improving on his pace. 3.9 seconds now. Agnes still on the lead. Good job on defending that forefront. Oh no. Oh snap! It seems like Baraka is now in P3! He has now gotten that final podium position, but will he be able to keep that position? That is the question. Just Matt could possibly be fighting for a podium here if he manages to overtake Baraka, who is now a second ahead of him. I think that is Just Matt that almost drifts there and almost loses it. "27 out of 29. Lap 27 out of 29. Oh no. We're now on board of Tempex. Oh no! That was quite an amazing drift there by Tempe, who manages to keep his car on track. Wow. Or as they would say, wow. Right after this race, people, is X-Bow or Crossbow. That's using the 2021 KTM Crossbow car. And we're going to be seeing that action later on. So if you would still like to watch X-Bow, please do so. I believe we're going to be seeing an amazing race later on. But right now, 2 more laps remaining. We now have Baraka in P3, 7 P2, and Agnes is dominating the field in P1. Oh no, just 1 more lap after lap 28, and that means this could possibly be a win by Agnes if Seva does not improve on his pace. Agnes is now in P1, 5 seconds adrift of everyone else. So let's go ahead and take a look at this replay of Greg unfortunately spinning on the main straight. Take a look at this one, people. Okay, so here is Greg. Oh, you can see that from behind. Unfortunately hits that one, and that would definitely lost him a lot of time. So right now, Greg has dropped down to P6. I did not notice that earlier, but dang. Agades now just finishing Sector 2 of Lap 28. After this would be Lap 29, the finale. And this would be the decider on who brings home the most points. Oh snap, Agades pretty smooth on the chicane right there. Unfortunate, Greg was in the contention for the podium, but for that crash, that was not a good one. But Greg is still here. So keep pushing, Greg. You got this. Lap 29 out of 29. Ladies and gentlemen, this will be the decider. Who comes out of this race? Will it be Seva? Will it be Agades? Or will it be Baraka? We may never know, but Agades is 6 seconds ahead of his closest rival. Agades with a 2-stop strategy, Seva with a 1-stop strategy. Seems like Agades' strategy and Toyota has worked pretty well today. They're now 6 seconds ahead of Seva, and that's 6 seconds for Seva ahead of Baraka. Seems like this would be a solid P2 finish for the KR Racing driver. And now, people, we're now approaching the final straights with Agades. Oh snap! I think if he gets the chicane right, I believe Agades will be winning this race. As there we go, Agades does pretty well on the chicane. He approaches the starting grid, and ladies and gentlemen, Agades wins the round 5 of GT3 in Iron Racing. Your winner for this event, Agades and Toyota Advan. That was quite an amazing masterclass drive. The strategy was phenomenal, and their team and the driver, Agades, deserves all the glory. Oh no! Baraka just spun on the main straight. Unfortunately, right there, he does not get that P3 spot. No! That was unfortunate. Oh my goodness. Oh no, 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 no! Craig Racing, guys, Craig Racing just did their best out there today. It's just unfortunate, bad luck just happened, but please do not make fun of these drivers. They have really given it their all out there, and racing in a competitive platform is never that easy. So all these drivers, all 32 of these drivers in GT3 deserve their spots, and this was quite an amazing race indeed. So congratulations to everyone. Just Matt has been promoted to P3. Amazing drive by the Tri-Spirit driver. Eric Capri bags home some points for KR. Lol Fun, Greg and Baraka on a decent points finish for Craig Racing. Mom E enters the top 10, P7. Tempe X maintaining the P8 spot, and J Cass in the Brand Star outfit, as well as AG Capadonna topping your top 10. Meanwhile, there's Epic Brother 55 who's in P11, Vi Plumby in P12, Big Boy in the points P13, Silver in P14, and Lamborghini with Tesla Rossa in P15. That sums up your points finishers today. And ladies and gentlemen, your winner is Agades. Wow, what a race indeed. And that was quite an amazing one to commentate. However, I do apologize for any mishaps I might have done along the way. But still, what a race. What a race. We have seen a Toyota Agades, from getting a P3 in round 1, finally gets his maiden victory for Season 3. Congratulations to Toyota Advan. Congratulations as well to KR Racing for the podium and Tri-Spirit. Alright. So I guess it's podium time now, people. And as your commentator, I might have access Just kidding. I won't do that. Alright, anyway, people. So here we have the top 3 drivers. Everyone here now. Wow. We see a lot of people here on the parking spots. P3. Where is Just Matt? Just Matt. Just Matt. JM. Just Matt. Is nowhere to be found. Oh, I believe he must have respawned. But congratulations to Toyota, that was quite a well-deserved win. And a fresh new victory, a fresh new winner. And here we go. Your final podium sitter, Just Matt in the Tri-Spirit, has finally parked his car. This was quite an amazing race, and definitely will go to my Instagram feed. Alright people, it's podium time! So gaze on the screen, this is gonna be great. We now have P3, ladies and gentlemen, the one and the only. We have Just Matt from Tri-Spirit. He goes out. Let's go! Look at the confetti and the amazing fireworks. Just Matt for Tri-Spirit. Amazing podium victory. Let's go, Just Matt. There he is celebrating right there. Next we have P2 is Seva. Yes! I believe he is the championship leader so far. Seva, with that one-time livery, is in P2. He won the sprint race earlier. And now, amazing job. Naganis wins this race. Congratulations to the Toyota team and to everybody else in the podium. This was quite an amazing event, ladies and gentlemen. So please, if you did enjoy this, make sure to subscribe. Join Iron Racing today. We have our Discord service on the description below, so make sure to be a part of our service. And also, if you wish to be a member, we would appreciate it. So please, do join our membership today. And also, massive thanks to all of our members who have contributed highly to Iron Media. Man, let's go take a look at the members. You have Engineer Level, The One 6927, Greek Gamer, British Coda, Zorect, NGSK10, ISO F1 Memes, Zenvious, Tacard, Waffles, ASDH1, Reserve Driver, Joao Rolim, Driver Epic's YouTube channel, and World Champion, nobody yet. But then again, people, these are your winners for today. Your podium setters for GT3 Round 5 here in Greece. And now, on to Expo later this afternoon. Once again, my name is Arceus, and I am your Ion GT3 commentator. I almost messed that one up. But anyway, thank you very much for watching the stream, and we'll see you later for Expo. Always remember, win or lose, good game.